Shelling is a hobby that brings me to the beach on a regular basis, and with little to no skill, allows me to find, examine, and if I so desire, keep beautiful treasures created by Mother Nature. And the thrill of this hunt keeps me returning to the beach over and over and over, sometimes quite early, to see what might be out there for me to discover. The random nature of these beach trips creates anticipation and excitement. And while some trips are more like a ride on the struggle bus, other trips thrill and delight me. And today we're going to have fun beachcombing the south end of Marco Island for a low tide adventure, and I will indeed find treasures that thrill and delight me. And there might even be a little bit of trespassing involved as well. So if you're ready to see what Marco Island has in store for us today, let's go to the beach. All right, here I am, South Marco Beach, and today did not shape up to be what I had expected. So it just goes to show it pays to be flexible. All right, this isn't looking great here, and that's fine, because this honestly isn't where we're going to be hanging out. I just like to kind of peek, get an idea, but we're not going to be shelling here. We're going to be shelling over there. You kind of see those jetties over there. So we're going to make our way over there. Oh, let me grab some garbage. Get that off the beach. Now check out the ibis in front. Yep, it just took down some sort of little crustacean. So they do eat crustaceans, crayfish, shrimp, bugs, things of that nature. And these birds, they're white ibis. I don't know if I mentioned that. They're very social. Their wingspan can get to be about 3 feet, and they're white, and they do have black tips on the very end of it. So they are very adept at different lawns, golf courses, and beaches. And we are going to be looking for seashells. So I'm going to pop over this first jetty. There wasn't all too much on the other side. All right, looks familiar. looks like, yeah, your common arcs and cockles and things of that nature. So there's always shells at the beach. I'm just a little more interested in some more rare and fabulous things. So it doesn't look like it's going to be, I'm going to have to worry too much about getting sunburned today. And that's fine. So let's head on down by the water. Yeah, let's see what's... All right, looks like a fighting conch. Oh, well, you're awful pretty. Now, it's knobless, so it's kind of missing knobs there. Or it looks like it changed its mind. It started off with knobs and said, I'm just going to go knobless. And you do you. So that is a fighting conch. Next, I'm going to release a pear whelk. Oh, a very pretty pear whelk from this water. Oh, that's very nice. Nice color, nice size. So that is one of the couple of whelks we can get, a pear whelk. All right, so I did come here specifically at low tide. So it looks like I got a negative low tide. It's 61. It's fine. It's not that cold. It's not hot. I just like to complain about it. I'm probably wearing pants and a jacket or two. Now here is an alphabet cone. And I do have quite a few in my collection, so something like this personally, I'm not going to keep. I'm going to leave that for somebody else. Maybe that could be a starter shell for somebody else who hasn't collected one yet. All right, take a quick peek just in case there's anything good up here. And there can be. I just do tend, if I can, I do tend to shell and like to shell in the water. All right, an apple murex. Perfectly safe to collect. Another thing you're going to have to be worried about is making sure that the shells are empty. So that's a nice looking apple murex. So the animal is no longer in need of its shell and no other hermit crab is in there. So those are a-okay to collect. All right, that's another pear whelk. Yeah, I'm going to leave that behind. But, oh, you lightning whelk. Nope. You are just lovely and you're empty. So there's no critter, no crab. Fantastic. We're going to keep that lightning whelk. What? Oh, another one. Hey, who am I to say no, I won't take another lightning whelk? Again, just double checking, making sure there's no Hermes kind of hiding in there. Another very lovely Texas state shell, a lightning whelk. All right, what else can I rescue from the water here? All right, a lettered olive. Very nice. I'm still on the hunt for an albino or even albinistic. Ooh, albinistic anything, frankly. I really do like the different colored shells. What did I see roll? Another, yeah, another cone. All right, so it is another alphabet cone. Again, I'm probably going to leave that for someone else to start their little alphabet cone collection. So I'll just give that a toss up there. Now, if there was a critter in there, we do not toss critters. We place them gently in the water. But empty shells, I've been known to maybe pitch one or two up onto the beach. All right, so I'm going to keep it moving between these jetties. All right, let's see what's over here. This is honestly, this patch right here, this is what I was really hoping was going to be good. And I kind of anticipated spending most of my time here. But, you know, I have no control over what's here. So, oh, that's a nice looking fighting conch. Oh, look how purple and almost black that coloring is. Oh, that's lovely. So I probably will, once I get home, I'll put that in bleach. Just see how that cleans up. Some of that grime, like in between the whorls. And I'm just going to see what happens here. Now, I have come here in the past, and getting around these rocks can be a little tricky, and you have to come at low tide, like negative low tide. And for whatever reason, I was not anticipating coming around the corner, but yet here we are. So I'm going to keep going. All right. It is what it is. Like I said, I did not expect to come around the jetty, but I guess just with all the different storms and the way that the sand has been piling, even at -3.7, I can get over here safely. All right, that is a top snail, a jujube top snail. And that is terrific. What's this little... All right, so I do know what this is. This is a Murex. It is a rose Murex. So now I'm just straight up chasing it. I missed it. Okay, it's fine. I will get it. I will not be leaving this area without that shell. Now, I know that the water is kind of pushing shells to my right. So I'm going to kind of keep slowly going in that direction because that's where I expect to find it. Now, this time I'm just going to grab them all. I'm not going to let it... Oh, I got it. Not going to let it get away. So that is a little rose Murex. I still consider it to be a bucket shell find. I've found quite a few of them, but still, it's always really exciting when you find one. They're so beautiful. This bright orange, not all of them. They also can come like the apple Murex coloring, in which case they call that a mottled rose Murex. But that is a regular colored, beautiful, bright orange rose Murex. What am I chasing now? All right, something. All right, a broken. All right, it was the color. So it's a broken lightning whelk. That's okay. I got what I was hunting for, and that's really it. The hunt, the chase, it is so fun when you see it. And then, you know, look, sometimes you pull it up through the water and it's not exactly as wonderful as you thought it was going to be, but sometimes it is, which is always really exciting. So there's another jujube top snail. I'm not going to complain about that. Okay, another alphabet cone. You know what? This one's in decent shape. I know the aperture is broken, but yeah, I'm going to hold on to that. So that is another alphabet cone. Delightful. Okay, banded tulip, that the critter is not done with its shell yet. Are you going to come? Yeah, I didn't think so. You're just going to tease me. So I'm going to put it out just a little bit beyond the breakers. Again, we don't throw it. We gently place it. And then go back to our shell hunting activities. Okay. And so far, pretty good. I mean, between the alphabet cone, the rose Murex, oh, here's a nutmeg. A common nutmeg. I don't know why they got to throw that common name in there, but that is a nutmeg. It's quite, that one happens to be quite lovely. Oh, I love these. So this is a ribbed cantharus. It's just so delightful. I love the boxiness of those knobs on it, kind of. So that is a ribbed cantharus. How Hello. So another fighting conch. It's so pretty. Yep, I cannot resist at least a couple. I try to hold off at the end of the trip, but sometimes some, oh my gosh, some are very lovely. I have barely made it around the corner, so looks like I am definitely going to stay here for a while. Oh, now I'm having fun. This is awesome. All right, what do we got? I see orange. Is it a little horse conch? All right. Now that also has those knobs, not quite as boxy as the ribbed cantharus, but that is a little horse conch, which is not actually a conch. It is a member of the tulip family. Now I wanted to show you this top snail because you can see the nacre, that mother of pearl underneath. So some of the seashells down here, you can kind of see that mother of pearl, and the top snail is one of them. Now what am I chasing? Or did I see anything yet? Oh, another cantharus. This one happens to be a tinted cantharus. I am a big fan of those cantharus shells, either the tinted or the ribbed. Doesn't matter to me. I think they're both awesome. Frankly, I kind of think nutmegs are awesome too. So it looks like I scored first a little nutmeg and then a little, well, not so little, kind of a lettered olive, a medium-sized lettered olive. Yay! So many. No, I do these. This is a dark seraph. Aren't they pretty? They're all beaded, kind of like the nutmegs, the chestnut turban. Some of the shells that just have those beads. I don't know what else you might want to call them. Oh, a little dark seraph. And yep, a cone. So here we have a Florida cone, a pretty well-behaved Florida cone. Now it does have a little bit of that like beach stuff on it, but that stuff usually picks off quite easy. And if there is something left underneath, you can just pop that in bleach and that should come right off. So that is a little Florida cone. Awesome. Another awesome find. Okay, and this one, all right, tulip just rolled into my hand. So that is a banded tulip. Fantastic. And we're also very lucky here in Southwest Florida just because of we have so many different specimens here that you can find. I happen to be kind of partial to the gastropods. So that means there's only one shell. That's another one of those little horse conchs, a bright orange one. And then you have bivalves, which would be like scallops or anything that would have two valves to it. So there's another horse conch. That would be a gastropod. And they kind of vary in color. They can go anywhere from like a yellow to like that bright orange. They tend to kind of lose that orange color as they get bigger. And that is an auger. Those are cool. Now they're shaped the way they're shaped. It kind of helps them bury in the sand. They love eating worms. So augers are big fans of worms. You go, you cool little auger, you. So that is a common auger. Oh, and a lace murex. So we have a couple of murexes. So I'd already found that rose murex and an apple murex we picked up. Here's another murex. This is a lace murex. Aptly named. It does look like it's a little bit lacy. Oh, a colorful Moonsnail. Awesome. Now someone had asked me, because I had mentioned that the colorful Moonsnail gets its name from the animal. Now the regular Moonsnail, the live animal, it looks kind of like a giant booger with like a shell in the middle of it. The colorful Moonsnail, on the other hand, so that's its body there. That's the best I got. I'm hoping one day I can get a better shot, but that's what a living colorful Moonsnail looks like. Very colorful. And the lace murex. Not very exciting alive, frankly. Either the lace or the apple murex. They kind of just look like gummy. Like they don't look like a creature or anything. They're just like goo. The fighting conchs, though. So this is a juvenile fighting conch. My favorite. They are so fun with their eye stalks and their proboscis. And this one's empty, though. We're not going to say hi to a fighting conch. We'll just admire and perhaps take that seashell. All right, bright orange. So that is another little horse conch. Fun, right? Tiny little thing. So horse conchs, when they come into the world, they start with a little shell. They get like a little bit of a head start. When they're born, they already have their little seashell with them. Unlike some of the other ones, which are just kind of larvae, they just kind of like float around until they sink to the bottom and then they will grow their shell. So that is a calico scallop. So that would be a bivalve. Very pretty orange bivalve. Getting a lot of good oranges today. And that is also a calico scallop. And just another fun thing that I like about the shell is all the different colors. It looks like it has little hearts on it almost. So that is a fun heart dotted calico scallop. Oh, another one of those cantharus shells. Now I do have to admit, I kind of do think that this one, the ribbed cantharus, the Gulf oyster drill, and the apple murex all look very similar. This one, that is an absolute majestic ribbed cantharus though. That was lovely. That is a broad-ribbed cardita. We can just go with cardita, although I don't know why I tend to just call it a broad-ribbed cardita, but that's what it is. Fun little, like, ribbed shell. So see what I mean? So that is the same color as the ribbed cantharus, but that is a Gulf oyster drill. And it took me, I'm not kidding, like maybe 6 months, 9 months. I just had to keep picking them up and picking them up until I eventually was able to really kind of see the difference. So here's another fighting conch of the juvenile variety. Looks like it decided to grow some knobs. Awesome. So that's another fun little find out of alliteration. Something orange. Yes. Oh, it's kind of missing its top. But here we have a true tulip. And yes, even the true tulips do have those bands, but it's not a banded tulip. That is a true tulip. And that is a lightning whelk. Looks like it has a rather nice dark aperture. Lovely. Whoop, whoop. And, you know, I just see some grab shell, worry about, you know, I'll worry about it later. So, okay, it's not a keeper. That's okay. Just needed to grab it. That was the fun part. And then probably we'll leave that here, but that lightning whelk was quite lovely. Probably hold on to that. All right, garbage. We'll take that little piece off too. See what I mean? So that is not a Gulf oyster drill, and it is not a ribbed cantharus. That is a little apple murex. And they all have those same colors, just the way they are. All right, so I've made it over. There's kind of like this dock area, so now I'm going to have to make sure I don't knock my head on that as I'm hunting over here. All right, so that's an apple murex with some of that beach stuff on it. Yeah, it's just a little bit too much stuff for me. Oh, but I'll pick up that top snail. Oh, this is great. Oh, a semele. The white Atlantic semele. Very nice. Another little bivalve and a worm snail. Fantastic. Oh, and another one. Oh, that one's even bigger than the other one. So the ribbed cantharus, they will get to about 1.2 inches or so. Oh, it's so pretty. All right, so I've made it all the way over. Oh boy. Well, we have some construction going on, and that's okay. It's not interfering with my shelling, so go ahead, construct all the things you want. Checking that. Yep. Was not going to be a keeper. What about you? Oh, and it has its top. Yeah, it's an orange day down here, so that is another true tulip. That is beautiful. So, another murex. Another lace murex. What do we got in there? Looks like a barnacle. Yep, and it's just a barnacle, and which is good, so we know for certain no crabs or anything hiding in there. So anytime there's like stuff in the shell, I'm not going to find a crab. So just be careful when you're shelling in the water. So that is a chestnut turban. It's beaded, kind of like the dark seraph we picked up earlier. So that is a lovely chestnut turban. Yeah, probably going for that color. All right, that's pretty typical of a calico scallop coloration. They do, I would say, if I had to say, I would have said like that purplish pink is the most common color of those seashells. Another lace murex. So I kind of call those, oh, more beach stuff. Yeah, that'll pick right off. Now I know I passed on an apple murex earlier, but the lace murex, they're a little, again, not rare, a little more unusual. So I'm going to hold on to that. And that one I will pop into bleach. Oh, this is great. And I just never know. And I was not, again, expecting to come over here, but wow, what a day it's turning out to be. All right, another moon snail. This is one of the shark eye moon snails. So we know that that looks like just kind of like a live animal, looks like a goo with like a shell stuck in the middle of it. And the animal can squeeze back into its shell, which is really kind of interesting. That is Atlantic giant cockle. Oh, beautiful. So I'll hold on to that. I'm kind of picky. I only take the ones that really have that beautiful interior. Little beach ball. What? That's another rose murex. And you know what? It's got its little tail. All right, wait, a little something, something on there. All right, hopefully it's not a break or anything. Nope, nope, just a little bit of gunk on there. So that is another rose murex with a gorgeous little tail, little spikes on it. That's even more awesome than the first one. Yay. Oh, that's awesome. All right, we got a bubble and another one of those broad rib carditas. It's a swell little bubble. Our bubbles only get about so big. I know they can get bigger. You can find them much bigger on the east coast of Florida, but over here they don't get all that big. Now this is a spiny slipper snail. Spiny slipper snail. So they have that little ledge on the back. And that is also a gastropod. I know it might look like it should be a bivalve, like that scallop, this rough scallop. I feel like the West Coast doesn't have as many scallops as the East Coast. So I'm just kind of admiring the little wings on the bottom called oracles. So that is a little rough scallop, not to be confused with your calico scallop. Calico scallops are just a little more round overall. Yes, they too have the little oracles, little wings on the bottom. They're a little bit smaller, but that, oh, it's so pretty. Another calico scallop. And that is a calico clam. We also have a calico crab too, so I guess that calico adjective is very popular. So that's a calico clam. And that is also a clam. That is the only clam I ever found before I came down to Florida. That is a quahog. That is a southern quahog. And I never really even thought about shells, honestly, until I moved here. Because something like that just is not as inspiring as that ribbed cantharus. I know, it's so pretty. It's awesome. Oh, and I happen to see another little seashell, a gorgeous fighting conch. So those are a lot more, what's the word? That just inspires me. The quahog is just not that inspiring, but these other shells, I just love them. Another orange. Okay, we'll add that to the orange collection. That's another calico scallop. Oh, that's awesome. I am so glad I tried to go around that jetty. All right, so out there, that's Dickman's and Kais Island. So when I'm on those islands, as you can kind of see buildings, it's the buildings behind me. So this area is not, it's not really that easy to get to. You kind of have to deal with the whole jetty and everything. But today I took my chances and I'm really glad I did. Now check this out. So this is a hinged, it's a bivalve. It's a broad rib cardita. Looks weird when it's hinged, right? Now it is empty. Yeah, managed to do that with one hand this time. Yeah, aren't they neat? So that is a hinged broad rib cardita. 2 for the price of 1. Awesome. They're really interesting. The broad-ribbed cardita. Oh, so in line with my orange theme today, we have this. Oh, look at that little, it's round. I think it's a little drill hole. So that is another calico scallop. Gorgeous. And a nutmeg. Found a couple of those today. Those are delightful little seashells. Very hard to find them live. I've been shelling for over 5 years and I've only found one one live nutmeg. That is a Sanibel turrid. I've been finding them on the regular lately between the Sanibel turrid and the Tampa turrid. Feels like every week I go out, well, with the exception of Passive Grill, of course. I didn't find it, pretty much anything there. But this is a calico scallop. Yep, really beautiful. Today was awesome. I had so much fun. This was wonderful. Now here we have two brown pelicans. Why do they look different? You can notice their head colors are a little different. That's because the brown one is a juvenile. Now there's also a snowy egret here hiding out on the rocks. And they're hanging out by the guy. He's probably going to start fishing. So these birds are pretty smart, opportunistic birds, hoping to catch a little snack. So both of those birds are both brown pelicans. We just have the one with the white head is a little bit older. And they're big birds, not as big as the white pelicans, but big nonetheless. Now, I am not going to be able to get back around that jetty, so I'm going to walk over those rocks and kind of walk through this complex. Now, yes, right now I am technically trespassing. I'm sure that they don't want people doing this. I had no choice. I've never done this before. I always go back around the jetty. So I'm not, I'm feeling like fine about this, but you know what? I'm locked in. So that gate there, you cannot get in or out without a pass. Now I'm thinking, shoot, am I going to have to like climb over this fence? What am I going to have to do? Well, as it turns out, I'm pretty adept at body language. And that lady right there, she's going to come through that gate. So I'm going to go through at the exact same time. And just like that, I'm released. I am no longer a prisoner and I'm back out on the beach. So I wouldn't recommend it. It can be a little dicey. I didn't know how I was going to get out. I'm glad that worked out. So I definitely would not encourage you to do that. I myself, I'm going to try always to kind of go back and forth around that jetty. So I'm looking at my shell people. I guess they're busy shelling between the jetties. And that was probably the better shelling anyway. But you know what we have to get to? Beach time. I didn't do beach time on the other side. Plus there was all that noise. And it's funny, you all tell me you kind of close your eyes. So if I only need to find like good sound, that would be amazing. But me, I also like a good view. So now I'm going to be quiet and let you enjoy some beach time. So today is not what I expected. I did not expect to kind of get stuck and have to like climb over the rocks and trespass and all that. I do not recommend it. I definitely would stay on the beach if you can, which is what I'm going to try to do next time. Now, I did remove a little bit of and I really mean a little bit, 1.05 ounces, but over time it adds up. Today, I've removed a little over 74 pounds of garbage from the beach. Now, it was Orange Day, so between the little horse conchs, the scallops, there's some true tulips, the broadrib carditas, and some jingles in there, so that was really fun. There were some worm snails. There is a big old jewel box, spiny jewel box, some banded tulips, a disc dosinia, some giant Atlantic cockles, one filled with top snails, the other one filled with bubbles. We have a Florida cone, a chestnut turban, some shark eyes, the ribbed cantharus. We have some scallops, some rough scallops, some calico scallops. All the way on the left are some Gulf oyster drills, and then there's a mauve mouth drill. We also have some lace murex on the bottom, one calico clam, some apple murex, the limpet, some nutmegs, yellow prickly cockles, some lettered olives. And then we have a little bit of nacre there. Above that, we have Florida fighting conchs. We have some Florida prickly cockles, a simile, a coquina, some of those dark serifs and augurs, some lightning whelks, some slipper snails up there, some pear whelks, the sunray Venus clam, and then my favorites were the two rose murex. There was a big lightning whelk, the colorful moonsnail, Sanibel turd, and that one alphabet cone. Again, not what I expected. Super duper fun. Patreons, thank you. Thank you so very much. And everybody else who comes along, thank you so much for watching and commenting and really just making this journey so fun for me. I have learned so much about YouTube, about the beach, and all the cool stuff that I'm learning. I love passing along to you. So thank you so very much for supporting me and allowing me to do this wonderful beachcombing thing that I do. Now, next week, we're going to another island, Key Wading. We're staying in my comfort zone. It's going to be really fun. I hope you have yourself a great week, and I'll see you again next Sunday.